Life has a way of sneaking breakthroughs into the cracks of your uncertainty. Sometimes the biggest turning points happen while you're still doubting, still healing, still figuring out where you fit in this unpredictable world. This next breakthrough in your life isn't arriving because everything is perfect. It's arriving because you kept going through circumstances that tried to convince you to give up. And that alone is powerful. As you listen here on Awakened Era, I want you to really ask yourself, what if something great is already on the way and you just haven't seen the first ripple yet? You've carried the weight of expectations, disappointments, and people who underestimated your strength. Yet somehow, you always felt a quiet inner voice telling you not to give up. Whether you call it intuition, inner wisdom, or personal evolution, that voice has been guiding you toward a moment that will soon make everything click. This shift approaching your life is not small, it's a defining moment. And as you continue growing with us here on Awakened Era, remember to like this video if you feel that the season you're stepping into feels different, heavier with potential, stronger with purpose. This moment isn't coming to impress others, it's coming to remind you who you really are. There comes a time when your spirit silently outgrows environments, relationships, habits, and limitations that used to feel comfortable. That discomfort you've been feeling lately, that sense that something is off or too small, is not a setback. It's your next evolution calling your name. You aren't meant to shrink for anyone anymore. And if this resonates, drop a comment below saying, "I'm ready for my breakthrough." You may not even realize how many internal upgrades you've made over the past months. You've become more self-aware, more selective with your energy, and more honest with yourself. Growth like this often happens quietly, without applause, without acknowledgement. But don't underestimate its power. This inner shift is clearing the path for the external breakthrough that's on its way. Awakened Era is here to help you stay aligned with that momentum each step of the way. Your evolution has already begun, and your environment is about to catch up to your growth. The next chapter of your life isn't ordinary. It requires a version of you that is confident enough to walk away from fear and committed enough to walk toward possibilities. Sometimes, life prepares you by placing you in temporary discomfort, not to break you, but to toughen your mindset so you can handle a blessing with stability and clarity. If you've been experiencing emotional pressure lately, it's not punishment, it's preparation. Think back to the toughest moments you faced in the last year. You might have questioned why things felt so heavy, so uncertain, so unbalanced. But those experiences weren't random. They were laying the foundation for the capacity you're now developing. You're being strengthened so you can hold what's coming without falling back into old patterns. And as we grow together on Awakened Era, I invite you to subscribe so you never miss a message that keeps you grounded in this powerful transformation journey. Your future requires you, not the old you, but the empowered one you're becoming right now. One of the most surprising truths about life is that blessings rarely look the way we expect them to. The opportunity that catapults you forward may come from an unfamiliar source, a person you didn't anticipate, or a moment that doesn't look like a breakthrough at first glance. Stay open. The universe often moves in ways that don't align with your predictions but match perfectly with your potential. Sometimes you think you know exactly how your success will unfold, but life has a greater imagination than any plan you've created. That unexpected phone call, that sudden idea, that accidental meeting, those moments often become the events that shift everything. So stay alert, stay curious, stay ready. And if you've ever experienced a moment where something good came from a completely unexpected direction, share your story in the comments to inspire others. Your breakthrough may not come on your terms, but it will come right on time. Right now, you might feel stuck between where you are and where you wish to be. But what you don't see is how close you truly are to your breakthrough. Most people give up right before the tides shift, right before momentum kicks in, right before everything transforms. There is a difference between being delayed and being denied, and you are only delayed. Think of all the times you thought you reached a dead end, but months later you realized it was just a detour that taught you something you desperately needed. You're in that type of moment again. Progress is unfolding behind the scenes, just not in a way that's visible yet. Awakened Era is here to remind you that your journey is moving, even if you can't see the movement. Don't quit, you're almost there. Right now, you might feel stuck between where you are and where you wish to be. But what you don't see is how close you truly are to your breakthrough. Most people give up right before the tides shift, right before momentum kicks in, right before everything transforms. There is a difference between being delayed and being denied, and you are only delayed. Think of all the times you thought you reached a dead end, but months later you realized it was just a detour that taught you something you desperately needed. You're in that type of moment again. Progress is unfolding behind the scenes, just not in a way that's visible yet. Awakened Era is here to remind you that your journey is moving, even if you can't see the movement. Don't quit, you're almost there. There are people who watched you struggle and assumed you were finished. They saw your setbacks and thought that was your final chapter. But what they didn't know was that your silence was not defeat, it was incubation. Growth often happens quietly, and then suddenly, everyone sees the transformation at once. Your next breakthrough will shift the way people perceive you. The same individuals who doubted you will be the ones who later say they always believed in your potential. But don't focus on them, focus on your personal evolution. Every major breakthrough you experience on the outside is a reflection of the shifts happening on the inside. The emotional work, the mental resilience, the self-reflection, the boundaries you learn to set, all of that inner progress is now attracting new opportunities, new chapters, and new versions of yourself. People often want external change without internal transformation, but you did both. You showed up for yourself even on days when you had nothing left. That energy is magnetic. That courage is rare. And that inner alignment is drawing the next chapter toward you. Your inner world has been shifting in ways that most people around you can't see, and maybe you haven't fully seen it either. But your thoughts have become clearer, your boundaries have grown stronger, and your understanding of yourself has deepened. You're no longer moved by the same triggers, shaken by the same doubts, or controlled by the same fears you once had. This inner change didn't happen overnight. It came from the quiet work you've been doing, learning from your experiences, healing wounds you didn't talk about, and challenging beliefs that kept you limited. You've built a new version of yourself from the inside, and now your outer world is beginning to shift to match that internal growth. Life always reflects who you are becoming, and right now, you are becoming someone powerful, grounded, and ready for more. This next phase of your journey will feel different because you are different. You're no longer chasing validation or forcing situations out of fear. You're learning to allow, to trust yourself, and to make decisions that honor your worth. You're reconnecting with parts of yourself you once ignored, your intuition, your intelligence, your strength, your emotional clarity. As your inner world aligns, opportunities that once felt out of reach will start gravitating toward you naturally. You'll find yourself walking into rooms that once intimidated you, speaking truths you used to silence, and choosing paths you once felt unworthy of. This is what inner transformation does. It changes how you move, and in turn, changes what moves toward you. Your life is about to reflect the person you've worked so hard to become. Confidence isn't something that disappears forever. It goes dormant when life hands you too many disappointments back to back. You've had moments where you questioned everything about yourself, where you wondered if you were enough, where you felt smaller than the storms you faced. But the truth is, your confidence wasn't gone. It was underneath layers of hurt, waiting for a reason to rise again. This breakthrough heading your way is not just about success or opportunity. It's about rebuilding the trust you once had in yourself. It will remind you that you are capable, resourceful, adaptable, and worthy of every good thing you once doubted you could have. As this next shift unfolds, you will start seeing parts of yourself that you forgot were there. The boldness, the creativity, the courage, the inner fire that once made you feel unstoppable. You'll notice yourself speaking up more, setting firmer boundaries, and standing taller. You'll feel pride where you used to feel shame, excitement where you used to feel fear, certainty where you used to feel confusion. This isn't an accidental glow-up. This is a return to your true self. Every setback you endured built a stronger, sharper, wiser version of you. And now that version is ready to lead your life forward. Your confidence is coming back, and this time it will be unshakable. There was a version of you, younger, more fragile, more confused, who desperately needed the strength you carry today. When you look back, you'll realize that the person you are becoming now is the person who could have changed everything for your past self. The resilience you've gained, the wisdom you've earned, the emotional maturity you've developed, these didn't grow out of easy times. They were born in the moments when you felt alone, unsupported, or misunderstood. And now, all of that inner power is shaping you into someone who navigates life with intention instead of fear, clarity instead of chaos, purpose instead of confusion. You might not give yourself enough credit for how far you've come, but pause for a moment and reflect. The obstacles you once thought would break you are the same ones that built your foundation. The pain you once wished you could erase is the same pain that taught you how deeply you can heal. The uncertainty that once made you feel lost is the same uncertainty that forced you to create your own direction. You didn't just survive, you evolved. And your future self will be grateful for the version of you that refused to quit, even on the hardest days. You're becoming your own hero, the one you needed all along. Every breakthrough begins with energy. When your energy changes, your thoughts, your habits, your emotional responses, your circumstances begin to shift too. Recently, whether you realized it or not, your energy has been recalibrating. You've stopped giving energy to situations that drain you. You've stopped chasing people who don't value you. You've stopped sacrificing your peace for the comfort of others. This shift may have felt lonely at times, but it created space for something more aligned, more meaningful, and more expansive to enter your life. You're stepping into a timeline where your energy attracts opportunities instead of obstacles. People who resonate with your growth will gravitate toward you. Ideas that once felt impossible will start unfolding smoothly. Doors that were once closed will open without force. You won't have to beg, chase, or convince. What's aligned will naturally connect with you. When your energy becomes clearer, so does your path. And right now, your energy is becoming a magnet for the life you truly want to live, not the life you once settled for. Your alignment is creating momentum, and opportunity is already on its way. When life is preparing you for a bigger stage, a larger responsibility, or a higher version of yourself, the pressure often intensifies before anything makes sense. You might feel stretched emotionally, mentally, or even physically. You might feel overwhelmed without knowing why. This pressure isn't punishment, it's expansion. Think about how a seed must break open before it grows, or how a muscle must tear slightly before it becomes stronger. Growth always comes with pressure. The discomfort you're feeling is evidence that you're outgrowing old limitations and stepping into a capacity you didn't know you had. If you've been experiencing unexpected challenges lately, take a moment to consider that these challenges might be shaping you, not defeating you. When life expands you, it does so from the inside out. Your patience is being stretched. Your resilience is being strengthened. Your mindset is being refined. Your understanding of yourself is deepening. You're learning how to stand in your power even when the world feels heavy. You're discovering that you can carry more than you realized and remain true to yourself in the process. The pressure hasn't come to break you, it's come to reveal your strength. You're not falling apart. You're expanding into the person you were always meant to become. Resilience is one of the most powerful qualities a person can possess. It's easy to be strong when everything is going well, but real strength is formed when life feels unpredictable, when progress is slow, when setbacks come without warning. You've shown resilience in ways you don't even acknowledge, waking up on difficult days, continuing tasks when you felt drained, staying hopeful when you had every reason to quit. You've pushed through storms silently. You've fought battles no one knew you were fighting. That resilience didn't go unnoticed. Every moment of perseverance has been building towards something meaningful, and the reward for that resilience is approaching. It may come in the form of an opportunity, a relationship, a realization, or a shift in your circumstances. What once felt out of reach will suddenly feel within your grasp. Where you once felt stuck, you'll feel movement. Where you once saw obstacles, you'll see potential. Your resilience didn't just carry you through hardship. It unlocked doors you didn't even realize you were walking toward. Soon, you'll understand why you had to be strong for so long. Your resilience is leading you straight into the breakthrough you deserve. As you evolve, the universe naturally begins shifting the people around you. Some connections fade, not because of conflict, but because you're no longer on the same frequency. You've outgrown conversations that revolve around negativity. You've outgrown relationships built on convenience instead of respect. You've outgrown environments that required you to shrink your personality just to fit in. This empty space in your social world might feel unsettling, but it's making room for people who will match your growth instead of draining it. You're entering a chapter where new individuals will come into your life who genuinely appreciate you, people who support your dreams instead of competing with them, people who motivate you instead of discourage you, people who understand your heart without needing long explanations. This breakthrough isn't just about success, it's about connection. The right people will bring opportunities, clarity, healing, and alignment. You'll find yourself having conversations that energize you, relationships that feel mutual, and connections that nurture your evolution. Your circle is changing, and it's changing for the better. Clarity is one of the greatest gifts you can receive in life. Clarity gives you direction, it gives you purpose, it gives you peace. For far too long, your mind may have been clouded with doubts, overthinking, confusion, or emotional heaviness. You might have struggled to make decisions or to fully understand what you wanted. But lately, something inside you has been shifting. Your thoughts feel more organized. Your emotions make more sense. Your decisions feel more intentional. You're finally beginning to understand yourself on a deeper level. This season of clarity will help you move differently. You will waste less time on people who don't value you. You will stop chasing situations that drain you. You will recognize red flags faster. You will sense opportunities sooner. You will choose yourself with confidence instead of hesitation. Life becomes easier when clarity becomes stronger, and that is exactly the energy you are stepping into. You're finally trusting your inner voice, the one that always knew the truth, even when you didn't want to listen. The fog is lifting, and now your path is becoming unmistakably clear. There are seasons where progress moves slowly, where everything feels stagnant, where nothing seems to shift. But then, without warning, life picks up speed. The opportunities that once took months suddenly appear in weeks. The healing that once took years begins accelerating. The progress you waited so long for unfolds in rapid motion. You are approaching that acceleration phase, the period where your life begins to move faster than your doubts can keep up. This shift often happens right after a long season of waiting. Your patience wasn't wasted, it was preparing the path. You needed time to grow into the person who could handle the blessings coming your way. You needed to develop the mindset, maturity, emotional intelligence, and discipline that your future requires. And now that you've done that invisible work, your external world is ready to shift. When life accelerates, everything aligns at once: opportunities, clarity, momentum, and confidence. Your slow season is ending. Your fast season is about to begin. There comes a moment when distraction loses its power over you. You stop entertaining noise, drama, or anything that drains your energy rather than builds it. You begin noticing that your priorities sharpen, your inner circle shrinks, and your mind becomes clearer about what truly matters. This is not accidental. It is a sign you are leveling up internally before your external world shifts. Focus is a force, and when you harness it, everything in your life begins to align faster. The goals that once felt overwhelming suddenly look achievable. The plans that felt distant begin forming naturally. You're not becoming colder, you're becoming wiser. You're choosing what contributes to your future, not what distracts you from it. This evolution of focus often comes with internal tension, a pull between who you used to be and who you're becoming. You may find yourself saying no more often, stepping back from draining relationships, or protecting your time with new boundaries. These are not signs of isolation, they are signs of growth. You are reorganizing your energy so you can pour it into the things that will genuinely elevate your life. As your focus strengthens, so does your ability to make decisions that reflect your long-term vision instead of short-term impulses. The more intentional you become, the more opportunities you attract that match your purpose. This is your moment to lean into clarity, discipline, and alignment. Everything around you is responding to your shift, even if you don't notice it yet. You are becoming unstoppable because you've finally learned where to place your energy. There is a quiet strength in working behind the scenes, away from opinions, noise, and unnecessary attention. This is the season where your silence is not a sign of inactivity, it's a sign of strategy. You're building with intention, refining your skills, planning your next steps, and choosing to grow without the pressure of an audience. The most successful breakthroughs often happen in private long before they become visible to the world. You may feel like no one sees your effort, but life has a way of rewarding consistency in ways that become impossible to ignore. Your results will reveal everything you've been working toward, and they will arrive at the perfect time. During this quiet building phase, it's natural to feel unseen or underestimated. But understand this, being underestimated is one of your greatest advantages. People don't expect much, so when you rise dramatically. The progress you're making, the skills you're sharpening, and the habits you're forming are creating a foundation that will sustain long-term success. Moving quietly doesn't mean thinking small. It means building a future so solid that nothing and no one can take it away from you. Every step you're making right now is constructing a version of you that will be unshakable when the spotlight finally hits. And when your breakthrough becomes visible, it will not be subtle, it will be undeniable. Your silence is temporary, but your success will echo loudly. You've spent years being misunderstood, underestimated, or labeled based on older versions of yourself. But now, something within you has shifted. You've outgrown old identities, outgrown the role people expected you to play, and outgrown the limits you once accepted without question. The world is about to witness a different side of you, one that's stronger, sharper, wiser, and more self-assured. This new version is not a mask, it's your truth. You're finally stepping into the person you were always meant to be before doubt, fear, or criticism made you shrink. And when people see this upgraded version of you, they will realize you were never average. You were just evolving. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It came through setbacks, lessons, self-reflection, and countless moments where you chose growth over comfort. You've been rebuilding yourself piece by piece, and now the picture is becoming clearer. Your confidence is returning, your mindset is elevating, and your emotional strength is stabilizing in ways that make you magnetic to opportunities. The world will not understand how much work went into this transformation, but it will feel the impact. Some people may be surprised, some may be intimidated, and some may be inspired. But one thing is certain, no one will be able to ignore the version of you that is emerging. You're no longer becoming, you're arriving. Self-worth is not something you stumble into. It's something you build, protect, and reinforce through experience. Over time, you've learned what you deserve, what you will no longer tolerate, and what aligns with your value. This next chapter of your life is all about honoring your worth without apology. You're no longer accepting half-effort connections, inconsistent communication, or opportunities that undervalue your talent. You are stepping into a season where you know what you bring to the table, and you're no longer afraid to walk away from anything that doesn't match your standards. This shift in self-worth will transform every area of your life: relationships, career, mindset, and inner peace. Elevated self-worth doesn't make you arrogant, it makes you selective. You begin choosing environments where you are respected, appreciated, and understood. You give your energy to people who reciprocate, not just take. You pursue dreams that challenge you instead of settling for ones that limit you. Your confidence becomes clearer, your boundaries become stronger, and your intuition becomes louder. You are no longer shrinking yourself to fit into familiar spaces. You are expanding into spaces that finally fit you. This is the beginning of a healthier, more grounded, more empowered version of your life where you stop settling and start soaring. You're becoming the kind of person who only accepts what aligns with your value. You've been stretched, tested, and pushed in ways most people will never see or understand. Yet you kept moving. You kept showing up. You kept believing there was more for you, even when circumstances tried to convince you otherwise. That persistence has built momentum that is now returning to you in the form of a breakthrough that will exceed anything you imagined. This next miracle, this next shift, opportunity, or moment of alignment will not only arrive unexpectedly, it will redefine what you believe is possible for your life. You are stepping into a chapter that expands your vision, rewrites your limits, and elevates your entire reality in ways you once doubted were possible. When the breakthrough arrives, it won't feel random, it will feel right. Every delay, every challenge, every setback will suddenly make sense because they shaped you into someone capable of holding the magnitude of what's coming. This next season is not about surviving, it's about thriving. You've done the inner work, you've faced your shadows, you've stood firm through uncertainty, and now the reward is approaching. The miracle you're stepping into will not only break expectations, it will set new standards for your future. You're not just entering a new chapter, you're entering a new level. Your life is about to shift in a way that feels impossible to deny and impossible to stop. You've journeyed through moments of doubt, seasons of waiting, and periods of growth that felt invisible. Now, everything you've endured, every lesson you've learned, and every bit of effort you've put in is about to pay off. This is your moment, the breakthrough that exceeds all expectations, the transformation that rewrites your story, and the chapter that finally reflects the strength, resilience, and courage you've built over time. Remember, life rewards those who persevere, who stay aligned with their vision, and who refuse to settle for less than they deserve. As you move forward, ask yourself, what bold step can I take today to embrace this next level? Who can I become if I fully trust my strength and my journey? What opportunities am I ready to receive that I may have overlooked before? Let these questions guide your thoughts, your actions, and your decisions. Your breakthrough isn't just a dream. It's an inevitable result of the person you've been shaping all along. If this message resonated with you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a motivational boost or reminder of your potential. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us what breakthrough you're ready to step into and how you're preparing for it. The next chapter of your life is calling, and it's time to answer.